So before you even get on your bike, I'd just like you to remind yourself of that intention. The intention to be mindful and aware throughout the activity. So as I said in part 1, it's important to be able to break down the sections, whether you do it by time or by distance or by landmarks, but making it feel manageable so that you're not having to be mindful kind of for chunks longer than sort of say 5 minutes or so. And you can then refresh it at the end of 5 minutes and start again. That's really important. And then as you get on the bike, even once you're on your bike, but before setting off, just take a moment now just to make sure that the setup is as you would like it to be. If you cycle often, then you've probably already found that. But it's worth taking the time just to make any small adjustments, especially for longer rides. And as you sit there, perhaps even just mentally kind of letting go of whatever stuff that's been on your mind. You're not pushing it out. The thoughts may well arise as you're cycling along, but just a sense, an idea of leaving it all behind as you set out on the road, across country, wherever you're going. And just starting off with the cycling in a very, very steady way. So to begin with, we're simply noticing things, as I say, in a very broad way. In fact, to begin with, not even on the body and the bike itself. We're just noticing our surroundings. So we're aware of the temperature. Perhaps it's the feeling of the breeze, the wind against the skin. It might be the sound of our clothes, perhaps rustling as we move or as the wind moves. Noticing the environment around us, whether it's in town, countryside. But just acknowledging where we are, the space that we're in. Going at a very, very steady pace, not hurrying in any way at all at this stage. And then as we speed up just ever so slightly, so still going quite slow, but speeding up just a little bit, just starting to be more aware of the body. Again, just checking your posture. Making sure everything's aligned. Starting at the top of your head and actually mentally working down. So still aware of everything around you, safety, your number one concern, but just acknowledging your neck position, the shoulders, the arm position, your hands on the handlebars, your pelvis position on the seat. How bent are your knees? Are your legs overstretched, understretched? And the positioning of the foot on the pedal. And just that feeling of pressure as you push down and tension as you pull up. So just aware of the space around you and aware of your place, your position, the feeling of the body on the bike. So having done that, starting now to pick up the pace just a little more. Again, as you do this and as you begin to speed up, attempting to do it in quite an effortless way. So the way I always find it works best is it's almost as though that you know the potential of the body, you know the capacity of your own body, It's almost as though it's kind of happening on its own, as though you have a little more help. You're just kind of going along with it. And there's something in the mind, actually, which allows the body to free up. It means we're not working quite as hard, even though we might be going the same kind of speed. So starting to focus in a little bit more on that sensation of the feet on the pedals. Again, not to the exclusion of what's going on around us. Priority number one is safety. So still with your eyes front and center, aware of what's going on. But mentally, there's a sense of tuning in to this rhythm of pushing on the pedal, pulling on the pedal. Left leg, right leg. And just settling in to that rhythm. Just take the next 30 seconds or so, just to start settling in to that rhythm. So as you continue with that movement, again, not stopping thoughts, allowing them to come and go, but having that sensation to come back to, that movement, that feeling each time. And just to help kind of make that a little clearer, a little more obvious, now just take the next 30 seconds to focus only on the pushing element. So on the left leg and the right leg. The left leg, the right leg. Only on the push, not on the pull. And now just switching that over so that you're now focused only on the pull. So as you pull up, the hamstrings working a little bit harder, and the quads, left leg, right leg, only focused on the pull. So just coming back to a steady focus now, where you're focused equally on both the push and the pull on both the left leg and the right leg. Just starting to notice again the posture. So just reminding yourself of the importance of alignment in the body. Starting to notice the breath as well. Using that as your guide of how hard you're working, whether you can push any harder, whether you need to ease off at all. And noticing how the mind is behaving, whether it's reaching out forward to further down the course, the track, your cycle ride today, maybe even to home. If it is, again, just noticing that as thinking. See it as thinking, call it thinking, let it go, come back to that sensation again. And each and every time we see the mind wanders off, we treat it in just the same way as we do with meditation. So rather than coming back to the breath, we're coming back to that feeling, the sensation of the feet, the legs pushing against the pedal and then pulling on the pedal. When we do that, when we settle into that rhythm, we start to not only be more focused, we start to enjoy it a little more, we start to, ironically, even though we're focused on that one thing, we actually start to take in our environment a lot more. Rather than being caught up in our head, we're noticing what's going on around us. We're enjoying what's going on around us. And hopefully getting a lot more out of our cycle. I'll see you back here soon.